As well, Yanga Mputa has been appointed by the Minister of Finance, Enoch Godongwana, as the Tax Ombud. Her term started from the 1st of this month, is expected to run for 5 years. Mputa is South Africa's first female Tax Ombud. She takes over from Prof.Thabo Legwaila, who has been acting in the role since October 2022. So on that note, Yanga Mputa joins us in studio. Yanga, good afternoon. Thank you for your time with us here on the SABC.
Thank you for inviting me. I feel humbled. Well, your invitation.
You've done the work. It's a big feat, the first female tax ombudsman in the country. A lot also at stake at this point, given the mammoth tasks ahead. And I wonder, in terms of the mandate of the office and how it has operated to date, what are you going to be doing different this time around during your tenure?
During my tenure, I'm going to continue because I'm filling in the big shoes of Judge Ngwepe. Yeah. Of which I'm very happy that he started that office in 2013 and he has left a formidable team and the work is good. So I'm going to be continuing on his work, and the mandate of the office is to assist taxpayers who are complaining against SARS. And in doing that, we have to enforce taxpayer rights, assist taxpayers to understand their rights, as well as improve tax compliance, because you have to balance between tax compliance and taxpayer rights.
No, absolutely. There have been questions about the independence of the office to date, perhaps because it does receive some funding from SARS. I wonder how you're going to manage the perception of that independence going forward during your tenure, and really create a public awareness about the role of the office to serve South Africa.
The office of the Tax Ombud is functionally independent in that we make our own decisions regarding the complaints as well as investigation of the complaints and make recommendations. The Minister of Finance nor SARS don't have interference. The Tax Ombud is appointed by the Minister of Finance in terms of Section 14 of the Tax Administration Act. And the Office of the Tax Ombud in terms of Section 15 of the Tax Administration Act can appoint its own staff. However, the office is still structurally independent from SARS. By structurally independent in that, our budget is approved by the Minister of Finance. So we have a line item in the appropriation bill, which says Office of the Tax Ombud. So it's not SARS having a discretion on our budget, it's the Minister of Finance, but it's ring-fenced from the SARS budget. So if you can look at the appropriation bill, it is there.
I think it was just addressing some of the sentiments about SARS perhaps bullying the tax ombudsman. So I appreciate that clarity as well, because we now need to look at the impact that the office of the tax ombudsman has had to date in South Africa.
Yes.
How would you highlight the strides that have been taken over the years?
Over the years, the strides that have been made by the judge and the office of the tax ombudsman is that we've done a lot of refunds, VAT refunds, and we did a systemic report on the VAT refunds, and then a lot of money has been given back or paid back to the taxpayers' hands, thereby saving people's jobs and people's houses. So we've done a lot of that, and there's a report in the 2017. And then all those reports go to our quarterly bulletin, the Fair Play, which is published on our website.
No, absolutely, because there have also been sentiments about the office being toothless and its bark being larger than its bite. How do you respond to some of those sentiments, given the work, as you've highlighted, has been done and the strides that have been taken?
I think our office, our work talks of itself.
Yes.
Because what happens is that we do have the annual reports, and then that shows how far we have done and what have we done so far in the years. So, and the independence is the cornerstone in which our work is built, and it creates credibility and success of the office. And we will continue to do that. But I just want to state here that we are functionally independent from SARS. Our budget is ring-fenced from the budget of SARS. But SARS, we still depend on SARS on IT and HR and procurement.
Because now we also have to look at the gaps since its inception and perhaps where it can also improve, given the mandate. Delays in some of the payments of tax refunds have come to the fore.
Yes.
Recommendations as to how to improve that. How are you looking into this matter as well?
I'm happy to say that so far, SARS has implemented 98% of our recommendations. And it is important, the relationship between us and SARS, because if the relationship is not good, then it will be difficult for SARS. Maybe it won't be able to implement so much of the recommendations. But implementation of 98% of recommendations so that the Office of the Tax Ombud does sound judgment. Because if our recommendations were not good, SARS was not going to be able to implement them. So that is one of the strides that we have taken, 98% implementation of the recommendations.
We look at the socioeconomic dynamics of South Africa and the digital divide.
Yes.
I wonder what are some of the other systemic issues that you'll have to deal with in filling the gaps and challenges in relation to the mandate of your office?
In August, we'll be doing an educational campaign,
Okay.
whereby we do walkabouts in the malls and in the remote provinces of South Africa. There, we'll be doing educational campaign, having pamphlets and leaflets, so that people can be aware, because we understand that not everyone has got computer or email or even a cell phone. So we'll be able to do that. But also in terms of digitalization, what I've found out is that the application forms for complaints are still completed by hand. So at least if we can be able to do online application, but the by hand is okay, because those who still don't have computers, they can download the application and complete and send it to us. Also, what I wanted to improve is the fact that we can give status update on the application via SMSs.
All right. And then obviously also the language barrier, so accessibility in different languages would be something also to be understood and implemented. I want to stay on the issue of socioeconomic issues. Tax avoidance and tax evasion is also an issue that comes to the fore, given what is happening in the country socioeconomically. And I wonder, given the slow rate of growth in our economy, how are you also going to combat and manage that so that South Africa can function, you can collect revenue?
Yes, the aim of SARS is to collect revenue. Our aim is to enforce taxpayer rights and also improve taxpayer compliance, because we can't tell you about your rights and obligations without telling you about your compliance requirements. So we are of the view that if we improve taxpayer compliance, then there'll be better revenue for collection by SARS and better life for all the South Africans.
And then just lastly, to date, the awareness of the office itself.
Yes.
How has South Africans responded to the work that you are doing? Are they aware of your role and perhaps how you are there to serve? Are they aware that its services are also free? How are you also going to create greater awareness going forward as its leader?
Greater awareness starting from today. This is some sort of awareness. So we're going to go to the educational campaign, radio, and also go to the provinces, because those are the ones of the things that even my predecessors said, that we have to be accessible to the underserved communities.
No, absolutely. Yanga, I want to thank you for your time with us on the SABC and for having your interview with us. It's the first since you've obviously entered your office on the 1st of July. We're wishing you all the best of luck with your future endeavors and perhaps over the next 5 years as well.
Thank you very much. And I also want to thank the great staff in the office, because even though Judge Ngwepe left, those people that are still there, the senior managers, they started the office with Judge Ngwepe, so there's going to be continuation.